Hello, everyone, and welcome to our evening podcast of Tarot is Ridiculous. I am your host, Lisa Robertson, and I have done all sorts of ridiculous things in tarot, including the Mermaid Tarot, Cirque du Tarot, and probably a bunch of books that I don't remember writing. Tonight, I have one of my favorite people on this podcast, and one of the things that people don't know about Brigit and me, to be honest, and maybe Brigit doesn't even know this, is that when I very first started my career in publishing and doing tarot, Brigit was actually the only person who reached out to me and spoke to me and supported me all those years ago. So Brigit kind of has a very special place in my heart, and the fact that she's Australian is just the cherry on the top. So you may know her as Biddy Tarot. Let's hear it from Brigit. Hi, Brigit.
Hello, thank you so much for having me. Isn't it nice to have two, I'll give you a semi-Aussie accent, two Aussie accents together.
Give me 3 minutes into this, I'll be back in full swing. Now, as I said, some of you may know Brigit from Biddy Tarot, but tell us a little bit about Biddy Tarot, because I'm always in awe of how long Biddy Tarot itself has actually been around.
Yeah, so I started literally in 1999, at the very beginning of the internet. And that was a time when there wasn't, Wix or whatever there is now. I was hand typing in code and then uploading it and hoping for the best. And it just started for me as a passion project. I was learning to read tarot and I thought, hey, why don't I just put this on the internet while I'm learning? And it was like that for a good sort of 10, 15 years. And then things started to build up momentum. More people were coming to the website. I was posting tarot card meetings. And then I was finally able to leave my corporate job in 2012 and pursue Biddy Tarot full time from there. Now, we have, I think it's about 15 million visitors to our website every year. We have an amazing team of 18 people who do all things from marketing and help desk and so on. We've had tens of thousands of students taking our programs. We certify tarot readers. We help them build their businesses. We get them started. We help them choose a deck. It's an absolute honor and a privilege, I think, to be serving the tarot community in this way. And we're also just really driven and motivated around shifting the way that we see tarot. I really see tarot as a personal transformation tool. It's just an honor to be able to bring that out into the world in a really big way.
It's crazy. It's crazy to me, how you started. So Brigit literally started this while I was doing my first batch of teaching in Singapore. That's why I want to look at it. I was teaching for the Ministry of Singapore. Brigit's typing away code on a little computer in Australia about tarot, and here we are. And you've got so many followers. I still to this day, and some people may not know this, but I did a course for Brigit's community a couple of years ago now, maybe 4 or 5 years ago now. And people still to this day will message me and say, I just did your course. And I'm like, what course? And they're with Biddy Tarot. And I'm like, oh my God, that's still there? I'm like, we might need to refresh that course.
Oh, no, that's brilliant. Yeah. We've got such a lovely community. And it's, again, just so nice to be serving in this way.
Yeah, it is. And I think that's one of the great things about tarot, the global tarot community, is that, so many of us here are here for acts of service and helping people. And that kind of thread through the community is just beautiful and lovely. Okay, so we're going to talk today about Brigit's favorite card. And while we're talking about it, she's going to be using her new deck. So hold up your new deck and show us that.
We're very creative here at Biddy Tarot. So this is the Biddy Tarot deck. Hang on, there we go.
Now, I actually haven't seen this deck, because when did it come out?
Only maybe about March of 2023. So it is quite new. Look, it's even shiny. That's what I like.
Oh,
it's very shiny.
Cadbury chocolate purple. I love that about your brand.
You got it. And just we've made it like really just approachable. It's very similar to, say, the Rider-Waite, so it's definitely based on the Rider-Waite, but it's with that evolution of a more modern, more approachable, more accessible kind of look about it. And we've brought in more diversity into the cards, again, making it just more approachable. So, because like I said at the start, we're very much about bringing tarot into the mainstream. And I really wanted to have a deck that is easy to show people, like without them freaking out and going, "Oh, that looks scary." It's just, it's a nice deck to look at, I think.
Visual aesthetic is really important in tarot decks, and I don't think it's something that gets talked about very often, about visual sensitivity. And I guess unless people are actually deck creators, they don't know a lot about this, but it is one of the things that I think about as well when I'm creating a deck and the images. And I actually do have a friend who's very visually sensitive, and I do run certain images past her to see what kind of response I get, just to make sure nothing is too shocking, unless like I actually want it to be. So like if she says to me, "I think that one's going to give me nightmares," I'm like, "Excellent, hit that one on the head." But people do have visual sensitivity, so the fact that you've got this really lovely approachable deck, I think is wonderful.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, because I see it, well, like, where can people get this on TikTok or Instagram and be able to talk about tarot, but in a way that attracts lots of people into that space? It doesn't have to be highly esoteric or very like intense. Just much more mainstream and available to everyone.
I love that. So let's talk about your favorite card. Why is this your favorite card?
Okay, so yes, I have chosen the Star card. Apart from it being very pretty. So I think what I just love about the Star is just this beautiful trust and hope and faith in the universe that no matter what, you'll be held in this place. And I also really, I just love that we have this naked woman on the deck, not just because like, oh, naked woman, but what it really represents is that full authenticity and the full like blossoming and opening up into who you really are. I've been on my own journey with like a feminine embodiment training program. I've been doing other like shamanic work and so on. And so much of that is to do with this full opening of oneself and being like the most truest version of yourself that you can be. So I definitely tune into that. And then the other thing I like with the Star is it follows the Tower card. And the Tower card is a very dramatic card. And I always think, okay, it's okay if you're going through that Tower moment, the Star card is right there after it. So we kind of do need to go through this like breaking down of the systems and the thinking and the beliefs and so on, so that we can emerge as our most fullest expression of who we really are. Yeah.
I love that. And kind of like that's full Pluto in Aquarius energy, isn't it? The Pluto's the Tower and Aquarius is the Star. it's like we're gonna have this like full thing. Now I'm not saying Pluto is connected to the Tower in tarot, but I'm saying it's kind of symbology to me that we have this tearing down of things with Pluto, and now we're having this new Aquarius energy, which is actually the Star. If you were to give this card a song, what would it be?
Oh gosh. Oh no.
Off the top of your head. Don't think too hard about it.
Okay, there's a song that I listened to over the weekend, and I actually don't know what the title of it is, but it is like, it's literally just, I think it's, the lyrics are like, "I am light," but it's sung in the most beautiful way. It's Elijah someone. See, I'm not being very good. If you look up "I am Elijah" something on Spotify, maybe you'll find it. Maybe you won't, and that's okay too. But yeah, this song is just so powerful for remembering like your pure essence and who you really are, and that, you are the I am. So yes, that would be my song for the card.
I love that you have such a soft, compassionate approach to the Star card, because I think sometimes this card can actually be disruptive in a way.
Yeah, tell me more.
in the fact that, especially if we're thinking about it from a point of direction, like if we think about the star card in a point of navigation, and it can disrupt us if we're actually pointed in the wrong way, and then the star turns us around and sends us somewhere else. So I always kind of think of this card as this navigation tool that is always going to keep turning us and turning us and turning us until we get to like this true north position. And that may not be where we think we're headed.
I love that. I've never heard that before. That's brilliant. That's so good.
Thank you. Some might say I might know a thing or two about the cards. But that was actually one of the things I thought about when I was designing the star card for the Mermaid Tarot, was this whole idea of what is true. Like, we talk about this true north quite a bit in spiritual development, and even sometimes a little bit in astrology. So if we're looking at a compass and we have to go true north, like, and the compass just constantly keeps pushing us north. And then that Australian piece of me is always like, we navigate in Australia by the Southern Cross, which they don't have here. So Americans, I'm sorry, you don't know what the hell we're talking about, but we navigate by a constellation system called the Southern Cross in Australia. And I kept thinking about that whole thing of, like, it's one of those things we look at in the sky to make sure that we're pointed in the right direction. And that's where it kind of hit me once that, wow, this card could actually be really disruptive for people if their compass isn't attuned to where they're meant to be. Yes. And that's where I draw the comparison of it coming right after the tower, because like it's torn down the illusion and now you can see where you're actually meant to go.
I love it. That is so cool. Yes. And then I reckon with having coming back to the nakedness, the more attuned you are, more aligned you are with this true self, the easier that process will be. But if you are layered up in so many different masks or distortions or whatever it might be, then it probably is very unnerving trying to find what is your actual direction. But I think when we can really know ourselves on such a deep level, that stuff becomes a lot easier to pay attention to and to say yes to, right? Because sometimes you get the nudge from the universe, oh, actually, you shouldn't be doing job A, you should be doing job B. But to do job B, you've got to like upheaval everything. But for some people, that'll be easy. Like, okay, yeah, take me there, universe. I've got you. Or you've got me. Or some people get into full resistance and be, oh, that's not right. So, yeah, so interesting, that kind of juxtaposition of those.
And the resistance would definitely be the upside down, right?
Yeah, yes.
I'm not following the inner compass. I'm not going towards the destined or fated or divine direction.
Yes. Yeah, and that's that loss of faith and trust in the universe and resisting it, pushing against it. And we all know how that ends.
Not well. But you're writing something that can help us with that. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh, yes. So I am writing a book called Intuitive Manifesting, which is all about how you can start to manifest your goals and create what you actually desire in life, but also with the power and the magic of intuitive tools like tarot, of course, but also things like journaling and ritual and ceremony and visualization and so on. I think so much of like the manifesting conversation is like, come up with a big goal, make sure it looks really cool on your vision board, post it to Instagram, show everyone how cool everything is, and then hope and wish it will come your way. But for me, intuitive manifesting is so much more about what is actually in the highest alignment with your truest self. So again, our naked woman here, what is in your highest alignment? What is in that, what's a vibrational match to where you are and what's right for you? And how do you tune into that and keep staying in tune with it as you manifest and co-create your life? Because I truly believe that life is a choice. And instead of kind of being victim to what happens to you, we have this opportunity to tune into it and then make what we want to have happen.
And I think that ties in beautifully with what I was saying here too about navigation, because if you aren't following the prompts along the manifestation path, if you aren't constantly reorientating yourself, or like what do the navigation systems say? Rerouting. We're rerouting your course. If you're not constantly doing that, then you're gonna go miles away from what it is you're trying to manifest.
Yes. Yeah. And you manifest the thing and then you're like, I'm still not happy. Why is that? Well, probably manifested the wrong thing. Or you're like, I haven't manifested it. Oh, I'm so sad and disappointed. But you actually realize that, it's the journey, not the destination. So if you can stay in that place of alignment during the journey, you've actually already manifested the thing that you wanted, because you can do that now instead of in the future.
Which could then be the moon, the sun, the judgment card in the world. Like every card that comes after the star could be one of those steps, right?
Yes.
The moon next, the doubt, the confusion, the unhappiness, the unfulfillment. The sun. Oh, wait a minute. There's light at the end of the tunnel here. The judgment. Oh my God, is this what I really wanted? Is this who I really am? Maybe I didn't do it right. Maybe I should try again. The world, sorry, your turn's over. Just start again.
I was going to say, the completion of the goal, and stepping into the new beginning. But it's all right. You take your stance.
You're just too friendly with the cards, Brigit. You're too friendly with them.
Happy friends. Yeah.
Now, where can we find you and your work and your beautiful decks? Because we are out of time.
Oh, right. Well, you'll find us over at biddytarot.com if you want to grab the deck, which is like gorgeous and stunning, of course. You'll find that at biddytarot.com/shop, or even /deck. Either one, that'll work. And of course, you can find all of our courses and all the cool things that we do there as well. And the book is coming. It's coming in October 2024. So that will be exciting as well.
I'm very excited about that. I need both the new deck and the new book, and I need the other deck because like mine disappeared when I shifted, and that was actually one of my favorite decks to read from. Like personally, for me, that was one of my favorite ones. I love the little shadow cutouts. That was always aesthetically so amazing to me. So I need all of them. So I'll be buying all of them. Because I need them. Thank you so much, Brigit, for being with us this evening and sharing your beautiful wisdom and love and light. And obviously, like the way Brigit talks about the cards, not like me at all. She loves them. She loves them. She thinks they're great, right? I think they're just here to trip us up and send us on a merry dance. All right, everyone, that's it for this week. I will see you next week. Bye for now.